Hello. The American people voted for Trump, whatever some conspiracy theorists have to say about it. It wasn't hacked by the Russians. It wasn't imposed by Skynet. It wasn't even the result of a massive alt-right turnout. Most voters knew exactly the sort of person he was, and that's what they voted for. They knew he has a habit of acting outside the script. So when Trump starts acting outside the script, in general, he's following the instructions of the American people who voted for him. Many Americans are irritated by the UN. They think they're making a disproportionate contribution to an organisation of countries that have an agenda. In many cases, an agenda that's directly in opposition to the aims of the United States. And I have to agree with them. Now, I do have my disagreements with United States policies, and I also have to confess to a deep resentment for the way America treated Britain, both during and after the Second World War. I take no satisfaction at all in the knowledge that karma caught up with America when her enthusiasm for dismantling the British Empire caused a power vacuum throughout the Far East and the Middle East. It was this that ultimately sucked away the lives of thousands of fine young American people, and will continue to do so because that's the situation as it is now. As I said, I take no joy in that, and I wish it had been otherwise. However, that's by the by. I'm mentioning this only to make it clear that I am not some mindless Ameriphile, if that's a word. My esteem for the American people is by no means deferential. And that said, I congratulate you in the USA for your stand on Jerusalem, not because of Jerusalem so much, but because it's given you the opportunity to tell the UN and the Arab states and their clients in particular that you're not going to abase yourselves in front of the world anymore. An opportunity that was, to my intense embarrassment, fumbled away by the British government. What a disgrace that was. Anyway, as Nikki Haley put it, America can put her embassy anywhere she pleases. But it really isn't the embassy, is it? My belief is that if it hadn't been Jerusalem, it would have been something else. Because Trump has spent enough time building stuff in New York, handling property developers of questionable provenance and planners of questionable integrity to identify a shakedown when he sees one. Many Americans know, if not consciously, at least on a subliminal level, that Arab countries regard the military and logistical support dished out by the Americans as if it were a type of jizya. Jizya, by the way, is the tax imposed on non-believers under a Sharia government. While places like Germany have taken refuge in their previous bad behaviour by infantilizing themselves, agreeing they cannot be trusted with an army anymore, and so have left themselves free to run social programs which confer benefits on their own citizens on a level about which American citizens can only dream, and which, of course, buys them all the votes. At the same time, they can also make themselves feel good and virtuous and superior by accepting hundreds of thousands of asylum seekers, which they can sort of afford only because they're not spending the money maintaining a proper army, a proper air force, or even a navy. To a slightly lesser extent, the same goes for all the other European countries, with the exception of the United Kingdom and Greece, ironically enough, which are the only European countries that do not depend on the American military to protect them. It's about time all of those other guys grew up. They're like a bunch of deadbeat adult kids still living at home, laying about, playing online games, making fun of their parents' respectability, criticising their parents' conservative politics, while at the same time complaining they're not getting enough pocket money.